been a dietitian for many years. During that time, lots of kids have been referred to me by their doctor because of gas, bloating, diarrhea, heartburn, and constipation. Often kids have become truly afraid to eat. They realize foods make their symptoms flare up, but they don't really know why it happens or what foods set them off. One day they do fine with apples or pizza or whatever, but the next time they have that food, they're in misery for the next 24 hours. It's pretty typical for patients and parents to be skeptical when I tell them I can help. Many of my patients have seen multiple doctors and had lots of medical tests. When I say that I think they have some fermentable carb intolerances, I frequently get asked, why didn't my doctor test for that? Here's why: there isn't a medical test. There's a scientific experiment. It's one you and your child can do on your own without any equipment or procedures. This experiment is going to get you feeling better, help you discover more about your body, and give you more control over your IBS symptoms. I'm Betsy Yelmgren, pediatric dietitian with Feed to Succeed. And today I want to tell you all about the experiment, the FODMAPs Elimination Diet. Let me give you a quick overview. To do an elimination diet, the key is trying to eliminate foods that are likely to be causing the root of the symptoms. During the FODMAPs Elimination Diet, you will cut out broad groups of foods that are known to be frequent sources of digestive problems. This allows your digestive system to clear out, and at the same time, your IBS symptoms will subside. After you've eliminated FODMAPs for a few weeks, you can then test different types of food to see which ones prompt reactions. The Low-FODMAPS diet is for people who have been diagnosed or think they have IBS. The FODMAP foods are common triggers for IBS symptoms like gas, bloating, reflux, diarrhea, constipation, and stomach cramping. It's also useful for people who think they might have a food sensitivity to a carbohydrate, such as lactose. The Low-FODMAPS diet is completely safe and only recommended as a trial for a few weeks. It's not intended for long-term use, as it is restrictive and over a long period of time does not provide a good balance of nutrients for optimal digestive health. You should consider trying a Low-FODMAPS diet if your doctor has recommended it, if you've been diagnosed with IBS, or if you think you're lactose intolerant, but sometimes your symptoms flare up from other mystery foods. It's important to remember that many GI issues have symptoms similar to IBS. So if you have any blood in your stool, weight loss, vomiting, or extreme diarrhea or constipation, make sure you speak to a doctor about your problems before just beginning a Low-FODMAPS diet. So what are the FODMAPs exactly? FODMAPs are fermentable carbohydrates. When they're digested, they can create gas, bloating, pain, reflux, and stool changes. FODMAPs are found in fruit, wheat, some vegetables such as broccoli and onion, dairy products, and some processed foods such as high fructose corn syrup. How does a Low-FODMAPS diet work? There are 3 stages to the Low-FODMAPS diet. First, during the elimination phase, we start by cutting out all high FODMAPS food sources in the diet. During this time, you will focus your attention on low FODMAP foods such as gluten-free breads and pastas, leafy greens, and proteins. This is the hardest part of the diet because it's the most restrictive time. But when someone with IBS has completely removed all the potential dietary causes of symptoms, then the symptoms go away. This doesn't happen overnight. IBS can cause inflammation and irritation, which need to heal before you really feel the difference. But typically within 7 to 10 days of beginning a FODMAPs elimination diet, my clients can feel the difference and know they're on the right track. Depending on your symptoms and your diet response, most people stay in phase 1 of the low FODMAPs diet for 2 to 6 weeks before moving on to the challenge phase. The challenge phase is stage 2 of the low FODMAPs diet, and this is when the fun begins. You will slowly and purposefully test each of the FODMAP groups one by one to see which are your biggest triggers. The way this works is by adding one category of FODMAPs to your diet at a time and gradually increasing the amount you eat over several days while you monitor and observe your reaction. A few days of gut rest to return to baseline, and then you may begin the next challenge. During the challenge phase, you will find that it's very important to keep a food journal. Good notes, such as what your IBS symptoms were, how severe they were, and what time they occurred, will provide you with information regarding your food sensitivities and tolerances. When you arrive to phase 3 of the Low-FODMAPS diet, you will use your results from the challenge phase to create a personalized, custom IBS diet that you can use to keep yourself free from symptoms while adding back some of your favorite foods. If you follow a directed plan and identify your triggers, doing a FODMAPs elimination diet will provide you with the answers you need to control your problem foods and keep your symptoms at bay. A low FODMAPs diet is a great tool to let you understand your digestive system and take control of your IBS symptoms. Doing the low FODMAPs diet can be challenging, but it has helped lots of people by giving them a tool to discover what they can safely eat and what to avoid. If you think a low FODMAPs diet might help, either for yourself or your child, we have lots of resources here and on our website, including a recipe pack of a few great, tasty low FODMAPs foods. Check out the link in the description below. And if you've found these tips helpful, give this video a like so that others can find it. Or leave us a comment and tell us about your experience with IBS and a low FODMAPs diet.